Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. My name is Mal and I make Tumbler tutorials here on YouTube. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a full vinyl wrap on a very large tumbler. I'm going to be using a 40-ounce skinny, which is a big boy. And then we'll add a few additional elements just to kind of spruce it up a little bit. So I really hope that you enjoy it as always. If you do, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below and remember to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. It's totally free. You'll just see my videos pop up in your YouTube home feed and it really helps my channel out. So I do appreciate when you subscribe. I will have a list of all the products I'm using down below in the description box. If you ever want to know where I get stuff that I use in my videos, I will always link it down below if I can. I get a lot of questions about where I get certain things that I use in my videos, and I always have a list down below. Sometimes I forget a thing here and there, but always check the description box if you want to know where I get something. And if I forget, of course, feel free to ask if it's not listed, but most of the time I'll have everything listed down below. Okay, I think that's it. I really hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's go. We're starting with this sheet of vinyl. This is from PEACHY Olive Glitters. The name of it is Wrap Me in Trees. And like I said, we are going to be using a big boy today. We're using a 40-ounce skinny straight from Craft Haven. Now I was originally going to use a 30-ounce skinny, but I wanted to get as much of this vinyl on the cup as I could because the whole sheet is so pretty. So I decided to go with the 40 instead because it will show pretty much the entire sheet of vinyl. So I'm just going to wrap the cup with this whole sheet, and I am leaving, as you can see, a little bit at the bottom. I don't want to have to trim off any excess from the bottom because we're going to glitter down there anyway, so I'm just saving myself the hassle and leaving myself a little bit of extra stainless steel down at the bottom. I wrapped the vinyl around my cup while the backing was still on to make sure that I was going to get my seams lined up perfectly, and then I taped down one edge of the vinyl with a piece of blue painter's tape, and now I'm removing a little strip of the backing, and I'm going to adhere this little strip to my cup first, and then again make sure that the seams and everything are going to line up as straight as I can get them, and then I will smooth this vinyl onto my tumbler. Now I will be honest, wrapping cups that are this big is difficult. The smaller your cup is, the easier the vinyl wrap will be. So with these 40-ounce ones, it's a little bit difficult just because you have to get the vinyl smooth in this really big area, and sometimes it will crinkle, it will wrinkle, so just really take your time here. You can go as slowly as you need to. There is no rush in getting this on your cup. So you can see I'm just kind of pushing the vinyl on, working my way up, popping bubbles as I go. If you have a sharp tip of your craft knife, you can just poke the bubble and then push the air out, and you won't even be able to tell there was a bubble there in the first place. So now on this first edge that I laid down initially, there was a crinkle that I just couldn't smooth out, so I just cut it off because I was going to cover it with the excess from this other side of vinyl anyway. So I cut that off, and now I'm trimming off all of the excess from my seam, and you can see I'm kind of cutting in like wavy lines here. I want to make the seam look as inconspicuous as possible. I want it to be kind of flowy so you don't immediately go to the seam when you look at this tumbler, if that makes sense. And now I am going to cut off all of the excess from the top rim. Again, using a very sharp craft knife makes this so much easier. So now that I've got the vinyl on my cup, you can see that little strip of stainless steel down there. I am going to cover that up with some glitter. So I'm going to base paint it with some navy blue acrylic paint. I'm painting the entire bottom of the cup, and then I'm going to bring that paint up onto the vinyl just a little bit, and I'm going to kind of like flick my brush at the end so the paint just kind of fades away. I want the glitter to have a nice dark blue base that kind of blends in with the vinyl, so I am just doing this with my acrylic paint, and I'm going to let this dry for about an hour before I go in with some epoxy. I am going to use the epoxy method for my glitter application, and I'm going to cover the entire tumbler with my epoxy. I'm using about maybe 5 to 7 milliliters, and I do use fast set epoxy, so by this time when I was ready to apply the epoxy to my tumbler, it was curing a little bit, so I had to really work hard to smooth the epoxy onto my cup. It took me a couple minutes to get this smoothed all over the cup, but just take your time. If you obviously want to use regular epoxy, it's a whole lot easier. The glitter we're going to use is one of the new colors from the December Peachy Olive Glitters Peachy palette. This is called Renewed, and it is probably my favorite color from the palette. It is so, so beautiful. Before I got the palette in, my plan was to use Wrangler, also from Peachy Olive Glitters, for the bottom of this cup. So if you have Wrangler, you can use that, or if you got the palette, you can use Renewed, either one. You just want to use kind of like a steely blue gunmetal gray color to blend in with the rest of the tones that are in this vinyl. Renewed is not available individually on the Peachy Olive Glitters website yet, but it will be released soon, and I will post on Instagram and my Facebook group and all of that when it's available so you can order it, because let me tell you, you need it. It is so, 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 so beautiful. Okay, anyway, I am going to apply this glitter to the entire bottom of my cup, and I'm also going to kind of fade it up into those navy blue trees that are on this vinyl. I'm trying to kind of waterfall it down, making my coverage lighter as I go. And once I've got that glitter placed, I'm going to take my cup over to my turner, and I'm going to add some glitter into the top portion of my cup. So first I'm taking Bougie, which is also from the December Peachy palette. It is probably my second favorite in the palette. I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of that into the sky portion of the vinyl. And then I'm taking Athena from Peachy Olive Glitters, and I'm really going not super heavy with this, but I'm not being like super light-handed either. I'm sprinkling this all into the sky where those stars are to really just amplify the number of stars that are in this beautiful sky. I let that spin for a couple hours, and then I went in with another coat of epoxy on top of that to smooth all of our glitter out. The second coat was about 30 milliliters, and now I'm ready to go in and add my decal. So I saw this quote on Pinterest. It's a Leonardo da Vinci quote. It says, "Once you have tasted the taste of the sky, you will forever look up." And I resonated with that quote. So I just whipped up a really quick SVG file, cut it out of champagne gold textured metallic vinyl from Tech Wrap Craft, and I'm going to put this right on the upper part of our cup where the seam is to conceal that seam even further. I didn't do an offset or anything for this decal because I kind of just wanted it to all flow together and kind of blend in a little bit. I didn't want it to stand out too much. Now we're going to go in with our next element. I'm going to use this transparent glitter vinyl from Craft Haven to cut out some evergreen trees. I just got this SVG on Etsy in a huge pack. I'll link it down below. And I'm going to apply this to the bottom portion of our cup where those navy blue trees already are in our pattern vinyl, and also where the glitter is going up the cup, because the idea here is that the transparent vinyl will show that navy blue underneath and will also kind of blend in with that glitter on the bottom. So we just have this additional layer, a little bit more dimension with our trees. It just adds a little bit more depth to the whole entire design. So I'm going to apply my transfer tape, and then I'm just going to smooth this decal onto the tumbler. I added another coat of epoxy to seal those decals in, and now I'm going to do all of my sanding. That glitter vinyl is a little bit bumpy down there, so I'm going to do a lot of sanding. I'm also going to clean up this top rim, and once I was all done with my sanding, I washed my cup with dish soap and water, and then I went in with my final coat of epoxy. For these big cups, you need to use kind of heavier coats, so all of my coats were around the 30 milliliter mark. And that's it. Here is the final result. I really love how this turned out. This is such an easy tumbler to whip up, and it really is simple but has a lot of impact, I think. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button down below. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already so you don't miss any of my new videos. Thank you guys so much for watching all of these 12 Days of Christmas videos. I have so much fun making them, and I will continue doing it next year. Okay, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for a regular old Tuesday upload. Okay, see you then. Love you. Bye.